Martin Muses and some midweek musings. Yes, we are back, precious. Thank you for everyone that has been watching and has been commenting and sharing. Well, believe it or not, just when you think that you're done with all the types of narcissists, you find more. So, guess what I found? Communal narcissists. This is something that I came across doing some research, and it was good enough that I'm like, dang it, we need to study this. We definitely do, because it is an issue and it's something that we see around us as well. So, hopefully, those of you that are watching this, you will be able to learn some things. That's what I always like to say, because not only do I talk about what it is, I will say also what to do about it. Now, I want to make it clear that I am not a psychologist, nor do I play one on TV. I am using research from psychology journals, etc., and you will see me cite the source or use quotations when it is not my stuff, because that's what you do. You do not pretend to know what you do not know. Well, what did I learn that I had not learned? Well, that communal narcissism, not only does it exist, it is a form, a branch of grandiose narcissism, which maybe I haven't done a lot of research on or a stream. So yay, we're going to get some more. So much narcissism, so little time. I think the reason why we're seeing so much narcissism today is partly because of social media, or maybe there's a perception that there is more, but definitely we are seeing narcissism and we are studying it. So, first of all, let's look at what a grandiose narcissist is. A personality type characterized by an inflated sense of self-importance, entitlement, and superiority, along with a lack of empathy for others. That's how you know that you're dealing with narcissism and just not somebody having a bad day, or maybe even some plain old-fashioned PMS. Well, look who is here. It is Conroy 7076. Thank you for being here. Like Dracula 3 Chicks, not at all. I linked to ask reviewers, but I don't have enough communers. Well, then you're not a communal narcissist, but we'll see that it means something pretty different. We have Snorpoopus Cooper. Thank you for being here. Hello, humans and other critters. We love our animals here at Miss Martin Muses. Yes, we do. So, a personality type, this is what the grandiose one is. A personality type characterized by inflated sense of self-importance, entitlement, superiority, and a lack of empathy for others. It is somebody who does have plenty of empathy for others and is certainly not a grandiose narcissist. It is Jacob Ironside. Hello, thank you for being here, and thank you for the rose. So, this is what a grandiose was. So, this is a branch of it. Let's branch together. Communal narcissists are extroverted, have an inflated self-view, and believe their abilities and characteristics to be superior, but in the communal domain. It is Timon all the way from Brazil. Thank you for being here. Yes, let's learn about communal narcissists. We see this online, definitely, where you see online groups, but you also find it in your own life. You will find it in work. But if you've ever been to church or any kind of religious anything, no matter what your denomination, whether you're Jewish or somewhere, you will find this. This is very prevalent. Oh my gosh, will you find it if you are in a church choir? But church schools, Christian private schools, Catholic schools, you see that there as well. Communal domain. What did this person do in the community? Seeks admiration and validation through their perceived contribution to others, a community, or society. Now, check this out. Their perceived contributions to others. It's not necessarily in reality or something that other people will acknowledge in you. This person has a perceived contribution to others in community or society, and seeks admiration and validation. Again, that's how you know the difference between someone who's genuinely a helpful person, a charitable person. uh, They won't seek admiration. Oh boy, media. Yes, mainstream media for sure. And alternative media as well. hmm Definitely. My goodness. We've seen a lot of that, haven't we? I don't know. Something happened November 5th. So when narcissists, all narcissists, find something that satisfies their core motives, and their core motives are grandiosity, entitlement, power, and esteem. They relentlessly pursue this. It is amazing how these type of individuals will out themselves very easily. Go on TikTok or go on someone's X feed, you'll see it. I've talked before about the social media kind of narcissism. I forget which one that's called. It is a Dega Outlaw. Good evening, fellow narcissists. Yes. Oh my gosh. I try so hard not to go to the dark side. And I've said several times, it is my religion, it is my faith that keeps me from doing it because we are all tempted. We are all tempted. But when you look at what your motivations are, if you get those right, then you won't be this. But also remember, these people are kind of crazy as well. Jacob Ironside says, communal narcissism, what to do about them? Stay the F away from them. Yes, yes, yes. That's actually I think that's the first one about what to do about them. But indeed. The tricky part is if you are dealing with it in your job or in your church community, because staying away from them might mean that you might have to leave, and that's very sad. And if it's your job, it's difficult as well as sad. So, what's the difference between the communal one and the grandiose? The grandiose narcissist pursues egotistical goals of individual achievement and dominance. I am smarter and more attractive than everybody else, said without comment. Jacob Ironside says, or in a family. Yes. Precisely. Now, the communal narcissist, I am the most helpful, caring, trustworthy, and benevolent person there is. Speaking from personal experience, you will find in the Christian communities, I love Jesus so much more than everyone else. They won't necessarily use those words, but when they talk all the time about, oh, look what I'm doing this, but it's okay because I'm doing it for Jesus, which isn't good, which I have sadly had to deal with, says Jacob Ironside. I am sorry to hear that. Yeah, it's really hard in a family. You talk about something you can't get away from, or if you do have to get away, it is very difficult and very painful. Now, in reality, they are not necessarily more helpful or compassionate than others. This is where you look at if someone is matching their words with their deeds. And if their words do not match their deeds, you've got issues. Actually, you've got issues on every level possible. Or if their deeds do not match their words. Be on the lookout for that. We have a super chat from the Nordporeal Light Form for $5. The Nordporeal Life Form says, virtue and charity and selflessness. Great. Virtue signalers, red flag. Darn right. Darn right was me. Continuing with the super chat. Haven't met a lot of good people in church communities, only a few good. Yeah. I hear you. Before I comment on that, though, let me give you a magnificent rose. I personally have found many great people at church, but sometimes they're a little harder to find because the ones that aren't the grandiose communal narcissists, they are the ones who aren't bragging. They're being very humble or doing everything quietly. So they might be harder to find. But yeah, well, Jesus has the parable of the Pharisee versus the humble dude, where the Pharisee gets up in the community and is like, I fast twice a week. I am so glad that I pray and I do this and I follow the Torah or whatever, goes on and on and on about everything he's done as he's praying to God. See, that's the thing where you find them. They will also be the ones that just can't wait to lead the prayer, and the prayers go on forever. That is a form of narcissism. That's not about Jesus, that's about them. And then Jesus shows that a guy quietly praying, probably a tax collector. Usually the bad guy's a tax collector. Wonder why. Who says, I'm a sinner, have mercy on me, or something very humble. See, that's what you're supposed to be. This transfers also into secular realms. I'm just saying that you will definitely find this in religious communities, and because maybe I have some personal experience with all of that. I said earlier that one of the places is a church choir. Oh my gosh. Church choirs are the worst. Hey, everyone's saying hello. Jacob Byron says, all it takes is one narcissist to get into a group of people for it to implode. Absolutely. Well, and we've seen this with online communities. Be careful. Good Samaritan too. That's a good one as well. Yes, Nerd Porlio. I'll learn to rephrase comments in Christian chat. Okay. The Memorial Life Form says Saint Basil liturgy is obnoxiously long during Orthodox Lent. Yes. Maybe one day we'll talk about those. The Eastern churches and the Eastern rites, because they're very different, but I got to admit, I kind of like those because once you get into it, it's very spiritual and it's communal. It's not me, 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 me. That's why chant is a very good and humble form of singing, because it doesn't make you stick out. Everyone is singing the same. That's why everyone sings so well in chant, whether it's in English or in Latin. Even people that don't know how to sing tend to join in. Yeah, hello. So, but they are not necessarily more helpful or compassionate than others. Actually, they will be saboteurs in some cases. I've already said this about their actions and their words do not quite add up. Check this out. The more you get to know them, the more you may notice their addiction to attention and praise. Yes, an addiction to attention and praise, and their hypersensitivity to criticism. That's also how you can tell a narcissist. Like a normal person, when they get a little bit of criticism, they tend to be, oh, well, I'll think about that. Or if you feel like you're being unfairly criticized, a healthy person will be like, I don't think that's fair. And let me tell you why. A narcissist will lose their crap. Very hypersensitive. And they want attention and praise. We see that phenomenon on X where people post these things and they want likes. And if they don't get the likes and they feel bad, it's like, no, I need to be validated. Look, I just took this selfie of me. I just showed off me in my new bikini or something, and them not getting enough praise. They want to get attention and praise. Now, I want to make this clear that while I've said you will often find these in churches, because that's also my personal experience, again, they are everywhere. Any group. You can find them in a D&D group. You can find them in bingo. You can find them in the bowling club. You can find them just about any place you have more than 3 people together. Everyone is saying hello. We love it when people say hello here at Miss Martin Muses because we're happy people. Now, communal narcissists want to be seen as benevolent and saintly. They want to be the one that everyone goes, this is the person who helps. This is the person who is benevolent. This is the person who is just so good and helps us so much in our community. They want to be seen, and they will do whatever it takes to be seen and saintly, whatever the saintly is in that community. And it does not have to be based on reality. I mean, some of these people might be actually helpful, but because their motivations are so wrong, everything else is off about it. Jacob Ironside says, yep, my sister is the alpha narcissist. Any criticism leveled at her, she plays the victim. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, an alpha one. Maybe that's something else I need to look into. Well, we've seen the whole playing the victim in online, like where you'll see somebody saying something awful, then people come back and say, hey, you're kind of an awful person for saying that awful thing. And they're like, oh my gosh, look at everyone coming after me. Especially some prominent figures in the media. You will see that a lot, especially after November 5th. All right, let's go through some of the characteristics. The classic narcissistic features: selfless and benevolent facade. So helpful. I'm thinking, well, maybe a little bit of umbrage in Harry Potter coming into Hogwarts. I'm just trying to help. I'm trying to make you all better wizards. And sometimes, children need to be corrected. Leftist, yes. But you'll see some people on the right. Sometimes they'll even do it on purpose because it gets them more engagement. See engagement bait. But you are correct. It has been through the roof. Everyone's a victim. Nothing's their fault. Once communal narcissists have power, beware, this is where they get to be like head of the department if you're working in a school or a university, or they get to be special in the YouTube community, or they get elected. I don't know. I know in some Protestant denominations where they actually elect or vote on like the elders. I think in some congregational communities they do that. Yeah, so they get their way into that, or even into the clergy, the official clergy. Once the communal narcissists have power, they become less benevolent and helpful and act more like the grandiose narcissists they are. So once they start to get their supply, once they have kind of achieved their goals, this is where the cracks will be seen. This is where everything will slip. And they'll just be jerks. And it's like, hey, when did this person become a jerk? Well, this person always was a jerk, but they were very good at hiding it under being helpful. Need for recognition and praise. Yeah, they won't do good things. They won't be helpful to the community without wanting to be recognized and praised, because their self-esteem is based on being perceived as better and more powerful than others. Yeah, so it's not finding it just within yourself. It has to be compared to somebody else. And if someone else gets the praise, then they don't like that. Like grandiose narcissists, they use social media, I said this, to have status and power, parade their false pro-social personality and behavior, and receive positive feedback. That's where I said that you can kind of see them by how they post, what they post, and how they react to certain things. Like if you're addicted to showing yourself selfies and all these things 10 times a day, like it's like, why? I've already talked a little bit about where you'll see it with women. I've seen it with some men where they just show themselves, I'm working out at the gym wearing muscle shirts or wife beater shirts. And again, 10 times a day. Now, this is not the same as some people who do things like this to show, hey, I've been losing weight. Look at me. Or, hey, I've reached my goal of, I don't know, pumping iron. I don't know a lot about lifting weights, but you know what I mean. So just because someone does that, that doesn't mean that they fall into this category, but it is inordinate use of it and how they react when they don't receive the positive feedback that they want. So that's why they love social media. And then it keeps circling back through and keeps reinforcing it all. Manipulative behaviors. Well, I think this just goes without saying. Manipulative behaviors. Hidden behind false modesty, kindness, and generosity. They often use kindness and generosity as a tool to manipulate others. Look, I'm modest. Look, see? Look at me. Look how I'm dressed modestly, unlike all those other SLUTSs. Kindness, generosity. See, look how kind I am. And they use it to manipulate others to get what they want. Play the martyr. They make a point of sharing how much they sacrifice to help a good cause. Look what I have done. Look what I gave up for you. I did it all for you. And no one cares. So what to do about it? What to do with a communal narcissist? Set boundaries. And I think this is what Jacob said earlier about stay the F away. Yeah, you got to set your boundaries. If it's someone you have to deal with, you got to know, hey, you can't be being all mean like this. Though it is kind of hard to confront one because you might get some gaslighting and they'll make it be like you're delusional because since their actions are not always overt, it's kind of hard to catch them in it. It's like it's very similar to bullying. You know when bullying is happening, but it's so hard to prove. Yep, here we go. Jacob Ironside knows this. After all I've done for you. Yep. When really it was just about controlling because these people have issues and need to control others. Well, and the inability to work things out. We all have some of these characteristics, or at least temptations to them. But when you come across it and the person finds themselves unwilling to meet you halfway, unwilling to compromise, unwilling to admit, hey, you know what? I was wrong there too. No, they want to say how you're wrong. So, yeah, set boundaries. If you can, don't be around them. I have some people that I put in a category called weather people, where you only talk about the weather. Hey, how you? Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah. Wow, it's been hot, hasn't it? Oh, can you believe all this rain? And then oh, squirrel, or oh, look, gotta go. Don't be fooled, obviously. If their actions do not match their words, then you've got an issue. Always delusional. Salty Traveling Sea says, so that's a no to napalm. Why? My goodness gracious. Wait. That escalated quickly. Yeah. Don't be fooled by their facade. I'm I'm doing this, out of goodness. I just don't understand why you're so upset at me. No, I I love you as a brother. You're my brother. And we're brothers in Jesus. Again, I've seen it too much with Jesus. I'm sure it's other places, but this is where you see it. Or I do so much for the community. I'm here to help you. I want everyone to be helped. We're all in this together. Don't be fooled, okay? Look at their actions, not their deeds. Look at their words, not their look at their words and see if they match their actions. What do you say? Too truthy? Uh-oh, Dago Outlaw says, "For smartness calling me out." Really? Sorry. Salty Traveling is saying, "Hello to my furry polar online seal eating friend." That's true. Practice self-care. Sometimes when you hear self-care, you want to lose your you-know-what. Oh, for crying out loud, Benedict. My cat is interfering with my slideshow. He's rolling around on my laptop. Because the whole practice self-care thing is a triggering word for people that are in education. So I probably just triggered anyone if they're coming in for teaching. Yeah, teaching is another place. Boy, do you see this. And in public schools, like I said, these can be in secular situations or in religious situations. I've taught in a Protestant school, I've taught in several Catholic schools, and I've taught in public schools, secular institutions. It is all the same. The behavior is the same. It's just what their goal is. In education, you will often find it, we're doing this for the children. So self-care is something that has become triggering to teachers because it's been a way often that administrators will manipulate you. So that's, for example, they just went and at the last minute gave you an assignment. It's like 4:00 in the afternoon, this true story. And then they're like, we said that grades were due on Friday, but they're actually due tomorrow morning. So they need to be logged in no later than 8 in the morning tomorrow. And we're all panicking and all that because the administrator made a mistake. And there are certain rules in public schools that it doesn't matter. These are the dates. And the person messed up. Don't ask me how. It's a very long story of incompetence. So we were all like, "Oh, what?" The whole and mistake on your part doesn't make an emergency on my part, but nope, that's what happened. And then at the next meeting, we're all frazzled because we all had to stay up late. And we were all bawling. We were so stressed. And then there was a thing about, you all need to practice self-care. This is how we need to look after yourself. And we're like, you're the one who caused us the stress. And then you have the nerve to say, practice self-care. So self-care has gotten a bad rap in the education community. However, it is still a good thing. Self-care is kind of like the song Let It Go. It got so overplayed and so overdone that we forgot it's truly a great song. Self-care is great. Take time for it. One thing that I have been doing almost religiously is tea time. The Brits knew what they were doing. They had this whole tea time thing. Watch Downton Abbey. It makes you stop. You have to sit, have a cup of tea, chat a bit, or even just have tea with yourself and a snack. It could be like a little crumpety kind of a thing, little sandwich, but there's something to be said about that. Get a massage if that's your thing. Get your nails done if you're a girl. We know we all love to get our nails done. Cuddle with your cat. Go out and throw a tennis ball with your dog. Today I had a stressful situation, so I borrowed my sister's dog and walked him around the block. It was great. Give yourself a present every day. Special Agent Dale Cooper said that. Practice self-care because being around these people is stressful. And don't let anyone gaslight you into saying that what you're feeling around this communal narcissist, this person that has come into your community and messed everything up. Do not let yourself be gaslit into thinking that it's not real and that it doesn't have an effect on you. There's nothing wrong with you for being mad, for being stressed, for being upset. Okay? They're the ones that did it, not you. Benedict just threw my crochet hook across the floor. I hope that didn't make too much noise. Salty Traveling Sea says, just remember, the more logic you use on an emotion-based manipulator, the more emotional they get until they break and attack you. Hell yes. Haven't we seen that over and over and over again? Yeah. I like what Salty Traveling Sea said here about using logic on an emotion-based manipulator, because what they will try to do if you try to confront them, they will try to get you to lose it. And then when you finally break, then what happens? Then they're like, see, this person's a psycho. See, this person's just jealous. See, this person doesn't love Jesus as much as I do. Oh, if this person loved Jesus, they wouldn't lose their crap like this. Or this person would be a better educator. This person's not a team player at work or whatever. This person's not good for our community, our D&D club, whatever it is. I think of D&D because I play D&D. Well, it works for me, says Adiga Outlaw. Yeah. And that's part maybe where self-care helps, is it keeps you centered and all that. If you're the meditative type, do the whole Buddha thing, whatever, yoga. If you are the type of person, well, like me, pray. If you're a Christian or a Jew, Muslim, whatever your religion is that has rituals, they're very good for you. Pilates, I do Pilates. Find something that you want to do. Maybe ask yourself if you're having issues or if you're overly stressed, especially because of an individual. Now, remember, this is after you've done everything I've said previously. Get this person out of your life, set boundaries and all that, how to deal with that. Beyond that, the emotional earthquake, I always say, that happens, or aftershock that happens after the earthquake of dealing with this. This is where it can help. Everyone's saying hello. And, oh, shoot. Okay. So I think the last one, foster self-awareness. Now you can see why I'm saying here that some people might get triggered because some of these are misused. You need to become self-aware. That can be a manipulative thing, but it is also good. Know yourself. Know your limits. Do what it takes to kind of get to know you. I mean, in some cases, especially where it's a voluntary community, just leave. There's some reason that you can be manipulated into thinking that you have to stay. No, you don't. No, you don't. Very few situations that you have to stay. And consider professional help. Don't knock it. TikTok, YouTube and stuff has ruined psychology because the weirdos and the psychos and the villains are the ones that get all the attention. But actually, psychology is good. It's not necessarily bad. And if you find a good psychologist, someone that you can talk it through, it's very good and can help you. So consider it. I mean, maybe it's not that bad that you need it, but if you're finding that you can't function or you're having difficulty, and if this is an opportunity, go ahead and do so. And just like anything else, if you don't like them, you can find another one. Or talk to other people. Oh no, I should have known I was going to get some of this. Timon says, what, like a hitman? No. Okay, everyone, I do not endorse what he said. Do not do that. All right. So that's the end of my slideshow. So hopefully I've given you some thoughts about communal narcissism as opposed to some of the other forms and where you might be able to recognize them and where it can help you if you find yourself in the situation. I just keep going back to what Jacob said. Get out. You don't have to be around toxic people. You do not have to be around someone that's manipulating you and making you feel bad or ruining your fun. Now, sometimes I have lamented the fact that a certain individual was ruining the fun. I mean, I've seen this in Civil War reenacting. I've seen this in everything. Yeah, it's not fair that someone is ruining the fun. But guess what? This person has ruined the fun. So don't give them the supply. Leave. They need supply. Don't be it. Be you. So don't hire a postal. Oh, gee, you guys. I should have known. I should have known. But no, this chat is the best. So in any case, as I always like to ask, if there is anything about what you would like to muse. Now, I can't muse anymore tonight, but I am looking for topics. So if you want to throw them out here or throw them out in the comments, I would definitely appreciate it. Because this channel is for you, everybody. Well, it's my channel, but you know what I mean. I always say if even one person listens and maybe gets something or it helps someone in their busy day, or maybe you're on a commute and this helps you through the commute, well, then I've done my job, because I would be nothing without you all. The chat is always like the extra panelist. Timon says, I just thought of another example of communal narcissist, a Marxist. Oh, yeah. Well, you see, and what they will do is this is how they bring about the takeover. They will come into like an ordered society and pretend that they're part of everything, and they'll weasel their way in and show how great they are and all that. Look how much I'm helping. And then boom, they drop it on you. Adega Outlaw said, I got professional help once. The shocks weren't so bad, but the smell of my own burnt hair was tough. Dear me. Oh my gosh. Hope you're joking. Adega Outlaw says Salty Traveling Sea says, me too. That's when I found a good bartender and life started to make sense. Oh dear. Well, disclaimer, don't fall into the trap, because alcohol can be cunning, baffling, and powerful. Only drink when you're happy, never because you're sad. I'll remember that next time. Salty wisdom, dear me. Well, yeah. Well, there's something to be said about bartenders. The people that we talk to, for example, bartenders, your hairdresser, your nail stylist, your nail technician, they listen, they're empathetic, they give you good advice. I mean, it's a thing. Salty knows my humor. Yeah, y'all are great. I know you're joking. So anyways, so I want to say thank you to everyone that popped in. We had Adega Outlaw, Salty Traveling Sea, Jacob Ironside, Timon, I already said Adega Outlaw, Snorty Poopus Gruber, Conroy 1776, Nordporio Lifeform, who left a $5 super chat. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Let's see. I said Adega Outlaw, didn't I? Yes. And everyone that is lurking, I hope that you are having a good evening. Dig Outlaw, totally my dude Gallows. Yeah. Salty. Oh, yeah. Talk to your pastor. Oh, yes. Yes. Talk to your pastor, priest, whatever. People that know how, they have a lot more experience than we do. All right. So have a great evening, everyone, and have a great day if it is a daytime. And be certain to just get the heck away from a communal narcissist.